It's not unusual for people to begin or end their day with a trek along Ladybird Lake, formerly Town Lake. Along the way, they may run into some of the people who carry on the legacy that Lady Bird Johnson envisioned in the 1970s. As Lady Bird Johnson Adopt-A-Garden caretakers, they ensure the integrity and beauty of the trail into the future.
Obviously, we beautify some areas that, didn't look so nice. But then in addition to that, I think really the greatest thing we do is that we provide an avenue for people to express this profound affection for the trail that Austinites have.
Every February, the Town Lake Trail Foundation auctions off the gardens to help pay for trail improvements and to enlist helping hands for a year.
What we did was to choose spots that were relatively small, discreet gardens that needed individual care. They were getting generalized maintenance, but not kind of tender, loving care.
Adopter Mary Arnett saw how she could make a difference at a neglected enclosure near Longhorn Dam.
And I drove by here and looked at it. It's close to where I work, so I thought, well, I could stop by and work on it before I go to work. That would be nice to do.
With a grant from Austin Energy, she repaired the broken water fountain, controlled erosion, and removed invasive trees and shrubs. She enlisted volunteers, including a landscape architect, to build benches into the stonework, and with plants, create a meditative sanctuary.
I've been amazed at how a little spot, just making a little bright spot like that along the trail, just attracts people to it. It's so rewarding to watch them enjoy it. You can stand back and see them be amazed at your flowers. Every single time I'm here, someone tells me thank you.
Dan Garrison and his team of volunteers also renewed an old garden.
This is Cactus Pryor's garden. It was donated on behalf to the Town Lake Trail and to the citizens of Austin on behalf of the Headliners Club back in 1979, and it was dedicated to Cactus Pryor, who is a local celebrity. He's been around forever, doing radio shows here in Austin, and everybody seems to love Cactus, and he's a real character.
They cleaned things up and added new plants. Old and new are Spartans, since their only supplemental water is what the cactus team hauls in buckets from the lake.
We do it because the Parks Department doesn't have enough resources to take care of all the parkland they have.
Their work carries on a legacy, passed down from the headliners and the volunteers who seeded wildflowers along the trail years ago.
It makes you feel great. When we were out here doing the planting, we had buckets of sod around, we had dirt, and we had all sorts of shovels and everything, rakes and everything. And every single person that came by would say, "Thank you, it looks great. Thank you so much for what you're doing." And it was just a great feeling, and it is every time that we come out here to take care of it.
When a nursery adopted a garden under MOPAC, they continued Roberta Crenshaw's mission to champion Austin's parkland and the greenbelt around its in-town lake. Like all the gardens, it testifies to plants that stand up to tough conditions.
For one thing, this particular spot, we get a lot of either intense sun or complete shade because of the overpasses for MOPAC. So it's not a typical location for a garden.
But since many gardeners do face that challenge, unrelenting sun or shade, they can run by for ideas to try at home.
Yeah, we figured if it can't make it here, it really can't make it in a garden in Austin. I'm amazed how many people, when we're down here working on the garden, how many people come by and just ask questions. What is that plant? How does that work in my garden? Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, it really is fulfilling.
Jenny Peterson, Dale Glover, and their team go for low-maintenance plants that offer as much refreshment as a drink after a long journey on the trail.
The Downtown Austin Neighborhood Association adopted this garden, mostly because we are a group of people who are dedicated to improving the quality of life in the downtown area, whether you're living here, working here, playing here.
It's a chance for downtown residents to nurture a plant in the ground and to illustrate that a garden doesn't have to be big to be enjoyable.
It connects you to the outdoors, to really, I think, a place deep inside people that they want to connect with after having a crazy, hectic day at work inside. Gets them outside and breathing and connected to other people and growing things. And I think we all need that on some level.
A couple of years ago, my husband and I, he works over in that building right down the right down the trail, we started jogging on the trail. And we would jog by this little garden here, and we noticed one day that there was a sign that said, "This garden is up for adoption." And so it was right around Valentine's Day, and I had to ask for that for Valentine's Day. So that was my Valentine's Day present 2 years ago.
Karen selected plants that glow by day and in moonlight.
This is a real meditative spot. People come here to think and to read, and I just wanted to have it to be sort of a calming place.
To support her legacy, her employer, Dr. Adam Schneider, devised a pump in a toolbox to water the garden. But she wasn't there to water the dry summer when she was injured. A mystery gardener took over, a fitness instructor that Karen met months later.
They love this spot. They do yoga and they do stretching out here. And they wanted to replant the garden because they wanted to really bring some good positive energy back to this spot. So I was very fortunate to have someone take care of my garden for me when I wasn't able to.
Sanchez elementary teacher Juanita Juarez and her fifth graders also want to take care of what's important to them.
It's something that they use regularly on their own with their family. They come by this playscape and this garden, so we really wanted them to have a part in improving their community.
They painted trash cans and benches to liven things up. Every week they come to weed, pick up litter, and tend their plants. They discover what it takes for a plant to grow.
Some plants need a certain amount of water, or some plants need shade or light, and they give us oxygen.
Watering is as much fun as learning a lesson in valuable resources.
We get a lot of exercise when we come out here. And it's like when we get the water from the lake for the plants, well, it's fun because we get to watch fishes swim around and stuff.
Miss Margaret Crow has been our sponsor for a couple of years, and she's been wonderful with helping with the adoption of the garden, purchasing plants, giving us tips, everything that we could possibly ask for, and the kids, are really grateful. We're really grateful for her help.
A helping hand makes a difference since adopters pay for their plants, mulch, and tools.
We provide lavish praise, and the garden adopters provide everything else.
No pesticides are allowed, and soil amendments and fertilizers must be organic.
More castings help the plants, and they're kind of gross too.
What's gross about it?
It's worm poop.
That may not have been in the first mission statement, but it certainly was the ultimate mission when dreamers went to work.
As a group, the Town Lake Trail Foundation feels as though we're kind of picking up the torch from that generation of people.
We try to clean it every time we come so that people will notice that we're trying to help.